As we see Slipchenko there, has played very well in this series, 27 years old. The Soviet team, as we see here, you'll see the trip come up here, right there, takes the feet from under Cranston. The Soviet team is much more older than the Canadian team.
To number 24, Mikhail Slipchenko, 2 minutes for tripping, the time 13:27. Slipchenko for tripping at 13:27.
Canada needs a goal here in the worst way. Their main play is get it back to the point, let it fly, go for any rebounds, deflections. They've been very effective on the deflections in this series.
And along the boards, that's Newell Brown, 17, getting it in behind the Soviet goal. Now Brown along the boards, working against 2 Dynamo players, and they hold it there for a face-off. 6 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the opening period. The Dynamo leading Team Canada 2-0.
Look at Newell Brown, who's been signed by Ferguson Express. He's on a 25-game trial right now. He's played 21 of them.
This is Popikin for the Soviets. Ahead for Skurduk. He can't get it out across the line. Now for Canada, Darren Lowe fails. And going back, Brent Meckling. Meckling from the University of Calgary, 20 years old. Lining up for Team Canada for the first time. And this is the 8th game of the Moscow Dynamo series. Canadians on the power play. Flipped in across the Soviet line by Brown. And flipped high into the stands from the corner. So the face-off will be in the Soviet zone.
The Soviets are always a threat to score when they're shorthanded, and they force you all over the ice. You've got to be very aware of them going on the offense when they get control of the puck. Especially out now with Golikov and Balderas, they're always a threat any time during the game to score.
There's Paul Geddes, native of Calgary, attending the University of Calgary. Still a minute 10 left in the penalty, kept in by Canada at the point. Into the corner now. This is Doucette. Back to the point. There's Serge Roy winding up the shot right on. Vassilnuk to save. Doucette comes up with it again right out in front. Here's Doucette, one more try. And a massive Soviet players in front of the goal. Doucette never really got a chance to get that final shot away.
He just couldn't quite get the handle on that. And Mikhalchuk covered up right here. You just couldn't quite control it that well. Tried to go to his backhand. And the Soviet defender covered up.
Actually, the play was made by Mikhalchuk because the goaltender, Vassilnuk, never really had to make that save. 52 seconds left in the penalty, and there's another Soviet going off right now, number 16, Mikhalchuk.
Moscow Dynamo penalty to number 16, Oleg Mikhalchuk, 2 minutes for delay of game.
I guess they ruled that he did pull it underneath him, Darcy.
He grabbed it with his glove and pulled it under his body, so he'll go off for 2 minutes.
So Canada, with a 2-man advantage, 5 skaters to 3. You said it was crucial before on the power play. It's critical right now for Canada to get back into the game in the first period. Come up with something here. Back to the point. Newell Brown into the corner. Shot right on. Vassilnuk the save and covered up. Vassilnuk is 36 years old.
Good play by Sills here. He tries to go upstairs with it. But Vassilnuk stands his ground, makes a good save off the shoulder.
So
trick him up a bit.
46 seconds left in the penalty to Slipchenko. And Mikhalchuk out for delay of game. Still has 1:54 remaining in his. Into the corner. This is Francois Sills. Back to the point for Newell Brown. Over to the near side for Serge Roy. He can't get a shot away. Soviets dump it out. And back into Canadian territory. Newell Brown, 17. Back for Canada. 29 seconds left in one penalty, 1:35 left in the other. Canadians to the attack with a 2-man advantage of the Moscow Dynamo. To the Soviet line and across into the corner for it. Here's Roy coming up with it, fired it just wide. Over on the far side for Newell Brown. Brown played it in for Geddes. Now back for Serge Roy. His shot blocked. 5 seconds left in one penalty. Roy still has it to the corner. Back for Roy. Canadians are not shooting. Now one Soviet player is back on. That one fired just wide of the Soviet target. And the Dynamo back to just 1 man short.
Big shift by Popikin, but the Soviets blocked the shot, made a big hit at the blue line.
Here's Newell Brown for Team Canada, trying to feed it through over on the left side for Dave Anderson. Couldn't get it through. Soviets all the way down the ice. Deep that time was Doug Clark. And Clark got it in across the Soviet line. Good chance for Team Canada here. Working in closely was Proft. Proft couldn't control it. And it's back down into the Canadian zone. 17 seconds remain in the Canadian power play. Over on the right side for Simpson. Into the corner after it. And they jam it along the boards. In there, Dave Anderson. Does look a little bit like big brother Glenn of the Edmonton Oilers, doesn't he?
Looks, I mean, look like twins, and he's at Denver University in his 4th year of business management. A Burnaby, BC native.
On the season at Denver University, 12 goals and 10 assists, 22 points. 3 seconds left in the penalty to Michalczyk.
Well, Team Canada has their best face-off man out there in Dave Simpson. Let's see if he gets the draw. He's doing a great job all series on it.
Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 2-0. This is Simpson, or rather Ramsey, in around behind the net. Simpson is out in front, cleared all the way down by the Soviets. The time has expired in the penalty, and Michalczyk was the first man down. Good chance for the Soviets. They fired in. That time, Antipov went to the backhand and had Trakalo well out of the play. It is 3-0.
Well, Michalczyk came out of the penalty box, was the first man down the ice to touch it. As you see there, he throws it out and goes across to Antipov, and he just walks in, makes a nice little backhand deke and throws it in the open net.
Trakalo actually committed himself, but really he had not much other chance.
Yes, he came out at him and was left out of position, but that resulted because Michalczyk came out of the penalty box. You'd have to wonder if the Soviets knew that, and they iced the puck on it. So he get to the puck first.
Another chance for the Soviets, working in right out in front. Baryanov couldn't get a good shot away. Now for Team Canada, Dennis Cranston leads the attack down the left side. And across the line, can't control it there. This is Mellanby for Canada. After it cleared to the point. And down the ice, Tim Krug goes back for it. Behind the Canadian goal. Bumped off the puck is Cranston. He falls to the ice. Soviets controlling in the Canadian zone. 3-0 Moscow Dynamo. Back to the point. And kept in there by Durden. Durden shot. Handled by Trakalo. And the Canadians dump it down the Soviet zone.
Right now the Canadians are very tight. They got to get the puck in deep, do a little forechecking, bump the Soviets, which they do not like at all.
Shot fired just wide by Baryanov. Wide of the Canadian net once more. Claimed by Serge Roy. Canadians in the center ice area. Newell Brown's pass. Failed to connect with his left winger. Long shot, Masselnuk. Let it bounce off his pads. And the Soviets start back once more. Baryanov ahead for Farutnov. One man at the side of the net. Trakalo the save. And Skuradek was foiled that time. Good setup by Farutnov for Skuradek. But Trakalo held his ground.
Serge Roy got caught on the blue line of the Soviets, and Skuradek tries to jam it in there, but Trakalo makes a nice pad save and holds his ground sitting.
Actually, Skuradek had a couple of opportunities there. Trakalo made the save sitting down. Balderas gets it quickly back to the point. This is Glushnikov. The shot well wide. Trakalo was out to set it up behind the net. Golikov for the Soviets now. Golikov working it back to the point. There's the shot. Trakalo made the save. And the puck came out of his glove and over to the corner. Now, here's Team Canada on the move. Led this time by Doucette. Doucette over for Francois Sills. Sills couldn't control it along the right side boards. Soviets content to play it back. Glushnikov ahead for Balderas. Off his skate, and Balderas races for it. Comes up with the puck. Gets the icing call waved off. Trakalo held on. Balderas simply outskated Doug Clark. It's 3-0. The Dynamo leading Team Canada. Time runs out in period 1. 59 seconds left in period one. The Moscow Dynamo have outshot Team Canada 19-7 to this stage of period one. So Trakalo has made some big saves, but 3 have gotten by. From the face-off, loose out in front of the Canadian goal. Soviets quickly there to claim it along the boards and over to the far side. And Ferrov lost it. Anderson led the way with a pass ahead for Ian Ramsey. Ramsey tried to get it in through a Soviet maze for Simpson, and quickly the Dynamo to the attack once more. This is Ferrov. That one off Perry Proft and into the corner. Here's Simpson banking it off the boards. Not quite. Kept in by the Soviets as Payusov couldn't control it there. Akulinen has problems for the Soviets as well, and Team Canada led now by Perry Proft with a pass ahead to Simpson across 2 lines down the right side. Just 18 seconds left in the first period. Some worries for Dave King in the opening period.
It hasn't been a very good period at all for Dave King and Team Canada, and they're having trouble on their own end, and they're having trouble getting any attack going. And there's Dave Simpson, the team captain, and he's looking for his first goal. He's a fine playmaker, and Dave King told me today they want to get him to shoot the puck more.
16 seconds left as the face-off comes into the center ice area. Durden for the Soviets. Dumps it back into the Canadian zone with 9 seconds on the clock. Out across the blue line, and that'll be just about it for period one. Oh, yes, they do. Whistle sounded just as the siren sounded just as they held it along the boards in front of the Team Canada bench. So a little bit of regrouping to do for Team Canada after a rather lackluster first period.
Well, the Soviets lost the last 2 games, and they've come out for this period, had dominated the period throughout. They had some great chances to score. They scored 3 goals, and Trakalo made some outstanding saves, or the score could have been a lot worse than it is.
Trakalo faced 19 shots. The Soviet netminder Vasilnuk just 7, and the Soviets are 3-0 leaders after 20 minutes of play at the Olympic Saddledome in Calgary. This is game 8 in the series. Moscow Dynamo have won the opening 5. Canada has won the last 2. So after 1 period of play, Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 3-0. After 1 period of play at the Saddledome in Calgary, the Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 3-0. The Soviets quickly to the attack after losing the previous 2 games in the series. Darren Lowe joins us down at the Canadian team bench. And Darren, can you get the feeling that the Soviets came pretty well prepared for this one after losing the previous 2 games?
Yeah, I think after losing 2 games, they were a little bit mad about losing the last one. I know they lost 8-4 against us in Ottawa, and when they came to Toronto, they were flying, but we held them down with a good defensive game, and I think tonight they came out to score some goals.
What's your assessment of this Moscow Dynamo team?
They're a very quick team. They turn the puck from defense to offense really quick, and I think tonight we have about 6 new guys in the lineup, and they're adjusting to it, and I think we'll be okay after just getting through the first period now. I think we'll be okay in the next 2.
Is that a bit of a problem for Team Canada as you look at that many new faces in the lineup on an evening like this?
Yeah, I think that having so many new faces in the lineup, it usually takes a period or so, and we were fortunate enough the 2 games that we won to have the same lineup for 3 nights in a row, and tonight's start of a new phase for the team.
You've had quite a bit of international hockey experience, just returning from the Spengler Cup, and of course a member of the Team Canada 1984 unit. What excites you about international hockey?
First of all, the chance to represent my country is just a tremendous feeling. I think getting a chance to travel around the world and to play against some of the best hockey players in the world is a benefit to any Canadian, and a chance for myself to improve my skills.
Are you looking ahead to 1988, ever hopeful of being around for a second Olympic appearance?
It would be nice. Right now I'm not really thinking about that. I'm trying to finish my university studies, and if the chance occurs and they're willing to give me a chance, I'd like to be around.
A couple of quick thoughts on the program that has been put together by Dave King and his staff. What's it like playing for this particular team?
From the 1984 team, I think they had to start from a base, and now they've started to get things together, and it seems like it's going to be a super program. They have a fantastic facility here in Calgary, and in the future I can see that Canada is going to have a tremendous Olympic program through 1988 and in the future.
It seems to be building very well, with the Canadian junior team winning a world championship, your team winning a Spengler Cup. and this team just in the formative, the initial stages of getting ready for 1988. Do you think that it's too early to be thinking about 1988 as seriously as we are right now?
I don't think so. I think that it's great to have the young kids. I know that they started across the country with kids 17 years old and through the juniors and up to this team. And in the Soviet Union, in Czechoslovakia, and the other European countries, they start from a young age with sport clubs. And I think that Canada's on the right track now.
Darren, a quick thought about what you have to do in period 2.
I think we got to get our legs moving a little more. We're seem to be standing around a bit. We got to get going.
All right, thank you very much for joining us, Darren Lowe of Team Canada. After one period at the Saddle Dome in Calgary, Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 3-0. Zabrelchev scoring at 10:18, and then Antipov from Zabrelchev at 16:48. The Soviets outshooting Canada 19-7, so Trakalo had a very busy first period of play. Made some big saves too, Darcy, but really Team Canada seemed to be a little lethargic, a little sleepy, or perhaps a little confused.
They seem to be disorganized that period, and I guess it's understandable when you have 8 new players in the lineup and most of them meeting each other for the first time today. And I'm sure Dave King will have them talking about the system he wants them to use and keep reminding them. And I would expect them to have a better period in the second.
There was a stage in that first period when the score was 2-0 for the Soviets. Canada had a 2-man advantage and really didn't come up with any great scoring opportunities. That, as we look back, might come back to haunt the Canadian team.
You look at Helmut Balderas, and he's leading this tournament with 13 points. Now he's picked up another assist. And he's a magician when he gets that puck. He's a very talented player. Doesn't like the rough going, but when he gets the puck, he does many great things with it.
Got some more lettering on his helmet there.
Yes, I found out
the Jazz the other night.
I found out what those other letters meant today. I guess it's the team that he plays for, the Riga Dynamo, play Finland a lot, and he has a habit of changing souvenirs with the Finnish players also.
So we don't know what those letters really stand for in Russian, but
we just know he likes jazz music.
He is the free spirit of this Moscow Dynamo team. And there really aren't very many personalities that come out of a Soviet hockey team, or at least it takes them a little while in international competition. But Helmut Balderas does have a little bit of a personality, and he is a little bit different than other members of the Soviet team. Quite regimented on and off the ice much of the time. Ready to begin the second period underway. Face-off down into the Soviet zone as the Dynamo lead Team Canada 3-0. After one period, it's cleared all the way back down the ice, and Newell Brown touches it. It'll be a face-off back in Soviet territory.
The Soviet players are all great skaters. I guess it's because the bigger ice surface in the Soviet Union. You look at Varyanov, the leading point getter for this team last year, and he's been effective throughout this series, with 2 goals and 3 assists.
So Newell Brown will be at center ice for Canada. He's flanked by Ridley and Lowe. Face off right back to the point. Fired shot right on Rob Whistle. And Vasilnuk made that save, and another one. It's gloved ahead at the line. The Soviets touch it, so it's not whistled down. Marianov for the Soviets. Now Team Canada in control behind the Soviet net as Ridley tries to work himself free. Out in front for Darren Lowe, and Lowe didn't have a great opportunity to get a shot away. Canadians with some pressure right now. They trail it 3-0. Really haven't had any good scoring opportunities, but one now right out in front. Here's Newell Brown, and Ridley was right there, but Vasilnuk held the fort. Good chance there.
Good shift by Team Canada to start the second period. They put some pressure on the Soviet defense. Get a look here at the save. Newell Brown tries to go up, and Vasilnuk makes a nice pad save. Good action for Team Canada, and the other thing, just carry on with another good shift and get something going.
Mikhail Vasilnuk, Soviet netminder, is 36 years old. And the face-off to the left of Vasilnuk. Team Canada keeping it in. Shot from Sills that time. And it was blocked by Golikov, who got it ahead for Balderas. Balderas in along the right side. Shot right on. Trakalo. He caught that one between the pads and held on.
Good save by Trakalo. Balderas breaks in on the right wing and makes a nice little move to the inside. And a good shot and good save. Benoit Doucette, the leading point getter for this Canadian hockey team, and has played very effectively throughout this tournament.
From the face-off back to the point, and Glushenkov fired it. It's off the stick and high over the glass. So they'll do it in the same circle once more. Next game for Team Canada in this series on January 7th in Thunder Bay. Our final telecast on TSN will be January 9th from the Forum in Montreal. And around behind his own goal, it's Victor Pasa, number 8. Pasa, Toronto product, currently at the University of Wisconsin. Center ice area. Canada fails to get it across the Soviet line. Now trailing on the play. Croft gets it across, but the Soviets flip it right down. Balderas once more. Balderas going in, just fired it wide. Balderas very quick on his skates. Right out in front, Golikov. Played it over on the far side. They score on the backhand as Golikov set it up. And the Soviets move into a 4-0 lead on Team Canada. Golikov made the play. Number 10.
Doesn't Balderas make it look easy here? Golikov makes a nice little pass. Balderas goes to his backhand, throws it high. Gets the defenseman commit himself. Golikov does. He throws it to Balderas, and he just throws it high in the top corner. The Soviets are very unselfish. They love to move the puck and get those pretty goals, and they feel they'd rather make the nice, pretty play and get two guys to get confidence than rather one who takes a shot and scores a goal.
1:35 of the second period. Balderas gives the Soviets a 4-0 lead. And after losses in Ottawa and again in Toronto one evening later in games 6 and 7, the Soviets are very definitely back on top of their game in this game at the Saddle Dome in Calgary. Pre-Roden in the center ice area, dumping it into the Canadian zone. Trakalo out to set it up behind his net. Over for Doug Clark. And Clark for Brent Meckling. Soviets in across the Canadian line. Kulinen, number 8, and he's ridden out of the play by Clark. Meckling losing it there. Shot on Trakalo once more. That time Pre-Roden. And Trakalo keeps it out, but the Soviets in control, leading by 4. Face-off in the Team Canada zone. And the Moscow Dynamo in control of a 4-0 lead. They've scored early in the second period after leading 3-0 after the first 20 minutes. Canadians to the attack, breaking out of their own zone. Von Karpen, number 15 for Canada, couldn't control it. Soviets with Antipov in across the line, over on the left side. And it's loose in front of the circle, right out in front now, the net. Back to the point, shot right on from Payuzov, fired just wide, into the corner now. Zabrilchev in behind the Canadian net. And Ferrov, number 21, working there. Karpen just got it out across the line for the Canadian team. Collision of two Canadian players in the center ice area. Play continues on as Whistle carried it across for Team Canada, fired it out in front for Mellanby, and he couldn't get a shot away. In the center ice zone, Slipchenko for the Soviets. Ahead on the left side for Antipov. Out in front of the Canadian goal, and Whistle cleared it to the line and across. Soviets quickly regain control as Payusov plays it over on the far side. Into the center ice area. The root now. Here's a chance for Canada. Ridley going in. Scores! Mike Ridley!
Fine individual effort by Mike Ridley. He's a tremendous forechecker. He takes the puck off the Soviet defender here. Baradinov there checks him, walks in all alone, makes a nice little move to his forehand, tucks it in the corner. Good poke check here on Mike Ridley. He skates in, gets good control of the puck. Makes a good little move for his second goal of this tournament.
And they mark that one down at 3:34. Soviets quickly back. And a good save by Trakalo at the other end. You just missed that, but Trakalo had to hold the fort at the other end of the ice. Now here comes Team Canada. Ahead on the left side. That's Newell Brown, 17, couldn't make the play. Now Darren Lowe comes up with it for Canada into the Soviet zone. And back there for it, Bozakov. 4-1, Dynamo leading Team Canada early in the second period at the Saddledome in Calgary. Croft for Canada. Head on the left side. That play failed to materialize. Ridley was there waiting for it. Skurduk for the Soviets. And around behind and back to the line. Bozakov winds up with a shot. Trakalo the save. Skurduk claims the loose puck and back to the point on the other side. Trakalo once more. Loose in front. Finally dumped down the ice by Canada. And just in the nick of time as Ridley dumped it down, icing will be called against Team Canada. Bozakov, a couple of big saves, or the score might have changed. It's 4-1, Moscow leading Team Canada. John Wells along with Darcy Rhoda, the Saddledome in Calgary. This is game 8 in the Canadian Moscow Dynamo 85 series. Face-off quickly ahead for Geddes for Canada in across the line. He's taken out of the play by Glushenkov. Soviets move to the attack once more. This is Mikkelchek. Ahead for Balderas. Balderas in across the line. Taken away from him. And back into the neutral zone. Soviets. Glushenkov, 28. Kept in by Canada. Glushenkov's pass intercepted. That was Francois Sills getting a stick on it. Team Canada trying to control in the Soviet zone. Back in the neutral area, Brent Schmeckling. He lost it. This is Geddes. In around behind the Moscow Dynamo goal. And the Soviets. In across the Canadian line. That shot from Semenov was blocked. Here's a chance for Canada. 2-on-1 over on the left side. Going in the shot. And the save. Vasilnuk on Ian Ramsey. Good opportunity for Canada. Soviets right back. This is Golikov on the left side. He's ridden out by Ramsey. Held along the boards, and we'll have a face-off in the Canadian zone, but Ramsey almost got Canada within 2.
Ian Ramsey had a great opportunity, and the goaltender made a great save on him. But that goal by Ridley seems to spark. Here's a chance by Ramsey. Goes in. Vasilnuk comes out, makes a good save on Ian Ramsey. But that goal by Mike Ridley seems to spark Team Canada, and that happens so often in a hockey game. When the team is struggling and frustrated, a goal will come and just seems to spark the whole team, and that's what's happened to Team Canada right now.
Canada on the attack, led by Ramsey once more, and across the Soviet line. That's Simpson after it, number 16 for the Canadians. Pressing in along the boards is Serge Roy, number 3, Soviets. Quickly to the attack once more. Varianov leading away. That play broken up. This is Sashov trying. Akulinen in across the Canadian line. Back forward is Serge Roy. Akulinen out in front for the Soviets. Cleared back to the points, and it was offside. Durden couldn't keep it in for the Dynamo that time. 4-1, Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada. All right, a young hockey fan enjoying the international competition at the Saddledome in Calgary. I'm John Wells along with Darcy Rhoda. 13:32 to play in the second period. Soviets, the Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 85, 4-1. And the face-off just outside the Canadian blue line. Soviets a little slow getting into position. And perhaps a planned play as the Soviets take control, flipping it in. And that time, Trakalo held on. A flip shot, but when he turned to release the puck, there were Soviets all around.
Smart play by Trakalo there. He had no place to go with the puck, so just cover up and get a face-off, and they've got their best man out there in Simpson.
Trakalo was brilliant in Team Canada's first victory of this series, 8-3 over the Moscow Dynamo, that in Ottawa. Bruce Dowie played the next game. That was in Toronto, and he was quite good. Named the #1 star of the game. Canada right out in front of the Soviet goal, and no chance that time for Simpson to convert. Soviets back to the attack and loose in the center ice area again. Picked up by Ian Ramsey. Ramsey back for Pasa. And Pasa to the Soviet line. Got it across. Basilnuk out to set it up. Team Canada changing now as the Soviets goes to the attack once more and across the line and quickly flipped out once more into Soviet.